Right, buddy, latest Manchester United news time. We'll be talking the latest on Manchester United. We've got some updates on Julian Nagelsmann. We'll be talking about the midfield stuff. Some things about, as I said, Nagelsmann, Forest, David Ornstein give a big update on the managerial situation as well. So we're getting into all that. Kobe Mainoo update on the fact that he took part in training, as well as Rashford potentially returning, Anthony Gordon, and much more. So I'll start off by talking about the Nagelsmann stuff, and then that will kind of obviously lead into the Michael Carrick stuff. So what was reported on Nagelsmann, it comes from Sully, who has very, very good insights into Manchester United, and he's provided with United fans with a lot of updates. So this is what he said. Understand that Julian Nagelsmann's name is heating up internally at Manchester United. While club sources state no direct contact has been made, some sources believe initial conversations have been held with this camp. The German manager is high on the shortlist, with many higher-ups having a long-term admiration for him, but the World Cup will play a major role in decision-making. Clarification on whether it would be doable will be clear in the near future. Carrick has also been strongly considered if he qualifies for UCL. Now, this is what David Ornstein said on the managerial situation, the way things are and the way things are going. I do not see United picking the likes of Iraola, Glasner or Silva ahead of Michael Carrick. If they miss out on Champions League, I'm assuming they would all come into play. That's why we have to wait to be a bit patient. I think United have completed all their background work and no doubt have spoken to representatives, although I'm told no interviews with candidates have taken place. If they had, we probably would have heard whispers at the very least. It's a huge call from United about this, and the sporting director Jason Wilcox, he's leading the process and will make a recommendation to the board. As things stand, it may feel like Carrick is in pole position, however nothing has been decided and therefore of course can end differently. It seems like Carrick, if he does this is another update actually before I talk. United's target when Carrick replaced Amorim was to qualify for next season's Champions League. Carrick is on course to achieve that, and if he does, it'll be a big tick in his box. Results so far and popularity inside and outside the club put him in a very strong position, although Monday provided a reality check. If they secure Champions League qualification, United are expected to finalise a shortlist including Carrick. Many feel there's no way United can overlook him if he delivers, but questions remain about whether how equipped he is for the full-time job with limited experience juggling domestic and European football and contributing to the summer transfer market. Top options like Tuchel, Enrique and Ancelotti are largely unavailable. Tuchel has signed a new contract, Ancelotti will be at the World Cup, and Enrique is expected to sign a new contract. The club doesn't see picking Iraola, Glasner or Silva ahead of Carrick unless they miss out on Champions League. So it does seem that Champions League is kind of the key for if Michael Carrick is to stay. I think that is obviously the aim and that's the objective that United want. If they don't get it, then they will look at other managers. Again, I think the way you have to look at a multitude of things. I think it's obviously the brand of football that we've been playing, the final finish in the Premier League, and again Carrick's ability to manage games. I think in most of the games we've had a lot of time to prepare. Obviously not the 24 days, that's too long, but where we've had a decent amount of time to prepare, the performances have looked good. But again, my concern is when we've had limited turnarounds, the performances have dropped. For example, I think it was definitely the West Ham game, but I don't know if it was it was the Spurs game before where United's performance was good in that game, very short turnaround and then poor. Same with the Newcastle game. I think it was Palace to Newcastle. That turnaround was short and the performances were poor. And also playing the Champions League not easy. Obviously United probably won't win the Champions League if they're in there next season, but I think you do need someone with a bit of European experience, and Carrick probably does not have that. So yeah, that's the update at the moment. Nagelsmann is someone who's a very interesting manager. He plays a good brand of football. He's managed Germany. He's currently managed Germany. He's obviously managed Bayern Munich. He is still a young manager, but he is relatively experienced. He's managed Leipzig as well. So he's someone who's definitely going to be on the shortlist. How high he is, we have to wait and see. On the midfield stuff, Nottingham Forest want to break the Premier League midfield transfer record when they sell Elliot Anderson. And Anderson is Manchester United's top target, but City are also in the frame with Silva leaving and Rodri's future uncertain. Forest want to break the Premier League transfer record for a midfielder, and if they chase two to that, both of these suitors will be willing to, and which of those suitors will be willing to pay it. He earned in excess of 100k, so you're going to need to offer him extremely high salary. Clubs are calling Forest, but they're focusing solely on the end of their campaign. No proper negotiations. Anderson is said to be behaving impeccably, not agitating for a move. He also has a World Cup to think about. We also know the widespread admiration for Wharton, but Palace will demand a very high price. Tonali has lots of interest. Belabor likewise, there are no other serious candidates receiving less media attention like Alex Scott should not be discounted. So the midfield situation, Anderson is the priority. The Premier League record at the moment for a midfielder, I believe, is Florian Wirtz. think. Yeah, Florian Wirtz, so over 125 million. So we will have to wait and see what happens there. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment on that situation. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.